In our last episode, we finished exploring the mall by traveling through the hazmat disposal site L5 until we emerged into L'Enfant Plaza. Now, we had already explored L'Enfant Plaza in a previous episode, and so I put that video after the last one in this series playlist. But the only exit out of L'Enfant Plaza is through the Irradiated Metro. And so after exploring everything L'Enfant Plaza had to offer, we stepped inside. We arrive in a darkened, dusty room and immediately turn on our light. We see the ramp down to the waiting platform ahead is blocked in with rubble. There's a door to metro access to the left. The ticket booth is stuck amongst the rubble. And to the right, against a wall, we find a lone wanderer motorcycle. Apparently this poor chap was busy repairing it when he died. We don't find anything in the ticket booth, and of course we can't go down to the waiting platform, so we need to head north, open the door to Metro Access, and see what's up these stairs. Turning the corner, we find a security door. Behind us, we found a few filing cabinets. They're empty, but on top of this one are 5 pencils. My Fallout 76 instinct for ammo crafting kicked in until I realized I didn't need it. Turning back around, we can head towards the security door, open it, to arrive in a large room with no visible enemies. Oh wait, one ghoul, no problem. Oh no! And after killing that ghoul, we hear a chorus of screams coming from down below. There is only one other door here, so we know they're gonna be coming from one direction. That didn't prevent me from walking around aimlessly until they burst through the door. Oh, and a glowing one! Daggone it, and I wasted all my AP on the other guys. Oh, all right. Is that it? Okay. I think that's it. Oh, nope, that's not it. At least they gave me a chance for my AP to recharge. Is that it? Any more of you guys down there? Hey! Oh! Oh, okay. Well, I think I heard another one down there, but doesn't look like he's coming up. Peering down with the hunting rifle, we can see if we can find him, but we can't see anything in the murky depths below. Well, I think that may be it for now, so we can take the opportunity to explore. That was 5 ghouls, one of which was a glowing one. Lying on the ground next to them is the body of a waste... Okay, if there are any more of you guys, say something now, all right? Oh, there's one. Oh, okay. And he dashes out the door. Before I can get him, well, we know where he's coming. How about instead of standing in the middle of the room with our light on, we hide behind this thing with our light off, you know, like a seasoned Fallout 3 player? God. Okay, is that it? Finally? Jeez, I think we killed every ghoul in this place. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the Irradiated Metro. See y'all next week. Oh no, but we've got loot. Heading over to the body of the Wastelander, we can start to loot, and there's a lot to find here. It looks like this shelf was bedecked with goods before it tipped over and apparently killed our Wastelander friend. For lying on the ground around the shelf is a stim pack, some Radaway, a lawnmower blade, some Rad X, a 10mm pistol, 2 boxes of 10mm ammunition, another stim pack under the body, another piece of Radaway, almost missed it. Okay, I think that's everything over here. But next to this is another shelf equally bedecked with goods. More Radaway, 4 pieces of it. Wish I had come here sooner. Well, it is called the Irradiated Metro. I wonder if this is an omen of things to come. Here we also find some railway spikes, a bunch of dirty water, some psycho, and some crafting components, but nothing that we need for the railway rifle. What was it we still needed? That's right, it was a pressure cooker and a steam gauge assembly. None of that here. There is, however, a third shelf, and on this shelf we find some buff out, railway spikes, and 2 pieces of jet. Tidy little haul here. On a table by a blasted out terminal is a fission battery. Alright, we need that for the railway rifle, but we've already got one. The next to this is 2 blood packs and some buff out. Okay, room clear, but we see another room below us. Moving towards the door the ghouls all came through, we can walk down a hallway and down some stairs to find a rake and a lawnmower. Turning a corner and continuing down some stairs, at the corner we find a table with a clock and a wrench and a coffee mug. And nearby we also find a pair of sunglasses. Hey, those will go great with my combat helmet. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, stylin'. The hallway then rounds a corner and leads to another large room. Are there any ghouls left after that? Yes! Any more? Surely I've killed all of them. Peering around, down each hallway. Oh wait, over in the corner. Okay, I think that's it. Famous last words. We see a lot of different ways we could go. Stepping forward to this console, however, we find a copy of Chinese Army Special Operations Training Manual. But before we can loot it, we start to take rads when we peer over this banister to the water below. Oh, that's why it's called the Irradiated Metro. The water in this basin is oozing radiation. Equipping our radiation suit and popping some Rad-X, we can move back to the console to at last loot the skill book. Okay, so we could turn south down this hallway with glowing fungus. We could go northeast across that catwalk towards the barrel on fire, or we can go north down that hallway where we killed the ghoul. Let's start by going right down the hallway with the glowing fungus. At the end of the hallway, we round a corner to pass through a door to wind up on the other end of the catwalks spanning this large irradiated chamber. So I'm glad I've got my radiation suit. On this console is a telephone and an assault rifle. We find a couple of staircases leading down to the water below. Turning around, we find a bedroom? Here? On the bed lies the skeleton of a woman clutching a piece of Radaway. Well, she clearly died after the apocalypse, tried to turn this place into a home, but didn't realize the intensity of the radiation. Or perhaps she did realize, but only after it was too late. On her bedside table, we find a pitcher with vodka, dirty water, a Braxo cleaner, and a cup. Perhaps this is hinting to the means by which she died. Maybe her life was so miserable here that she poisoned herself with an Abraxo cleaner vodka cocktail. But then we notice the bloody smear beneath her corpse and the bloody handprint on the sheet. I don't know, maybe it was a more violent death. In the bureau next to her, we find some pre-war relaxed wear, and that's about it for this side. There is a staircase over here leading down to the waters below, and a door to the east leading to another hallway. On the southern side of this hallway, we find a bathtub filled with coffee mugs. Okay. Well, I mean, I would be lying if I said I never drank coffee in the tub. But 6 cups of coffee? I mean, I thought I had a coffee habit, but this is ridiculous. Turning north and traveling down the hallway, we pass a toolbox next to a light attached to a battery, and then pass through a doorway leading to the platform on the opposite end of the toxic water. Here we at last find the radio that's been blaring this entire time. We can turn it off to avoid demonetization. Peering over the banister, we find the floating body of a ghoul. But we see that this end is mostly empty. We find 2 doorways to continue, a doorway to the north, and then crossing back over towards the other side, where we found the skill handbook, we find another door to the north. 2 doors leading north. Well, this one by the barrel on fire feels right for some reason. So heading through this one, we immediately come to a staircase leading down and a staircase leading up. Well, let's head down for now. And on this platform, we find a couch with a beer and an ashtray and another staircase leading down. But moving west up this staircase, we arrive on the other side. Okay, so this is where that other door to the north led to. And there's the ghoul we killed. Cool, so both paths go to the same place. Well, let's head back down these stairs and see where this staircase goes. And of course, it leads to the irradiated water below. All right, we got to make this quick. We can loot the body of the ghoul down here and then run around trying to find anything else of interest, but there's nothing. No ammo canisters, no containers, no skill books, nothing. So we can take the staircase in the middle of this room back up to the platform with the console and the telephone and the assault rifle. Okay, so that's where that led. Well, back to the hallway and taking it north. We know that we can take either of these doors to get to the same place. So, continuing forward and moving upstairs, we arrive at another flight of stairs at the bottom of which is a bunch of tin cans. Someone up there has been eating baked beans. Heading upstairs, we don't find any enemies. This room is dark and small. There are a few filing cabinets with ammo inside, some machinery, and that's it. So moving forward through the northern door, our compass picks up activity. Oh, and then we see it. Between the pipes, some movement. It's a ghoul. Moving into the room, we see a hallway to the left and a doorway to the north. Well, looting the corpse first, we can explore this room. Here we find lawn furniture next to a grill. Oh, and baked beans. Look at that. I was right. Someone was eating baked beans. What a litter bug, man, throwing his tin cans down the stairs. At any rate, we could go north, but I'm interested in seeing where this western hallway connects to. We arrive at the top of a stairs to find a horrifying scene. On the top step is a coffee mug, and then scattered over the steps, and the subsequent landing is the skeleton of a person who was carrying books. The stinking bathtub coffee drinker left one of his coffee mugs at the top of the stairs, and this poor soul tripped over it and fell down the stairs to his death. We see puddles of blood at the point of impact. He never got to finish his books. Oh. Continuing west, we arrive in another room with more machinery and another staircase down. This room, however, is mostly empty. In fact, it's totally empty, no containers at all. So moving to the staircase and heading down, we pass a corner where we find a console with some iguana on a stick lying on it and another coffee mug. And then turning the corner, we see a dead ghoul. Oh, this is the ghoul we shot from here. We are right back where we found that skill book. So that's where this led. Okay, well, now that we know all of the connections, we can turn around, retrace our steps, back up the various staircases until we arrive back in the room with the grill. From here, we can move down a hallway to the north to open a door. We arrive in a metro station. The path to the waiting platform is blocked. This hallway is nearly filled in with rubble. We find one Nuka-Cola machine against the wall and an Edotronic next to it with potato crisps and a stim pack inside. Moving to the gate, we can head out to arrive at the Capital Wasteland. But before we go, we can have a quick montage of L'Enfant Plaza and the Irradiated Metro. On the other side of the gate, we discover the Irradiated Metro. We head up some stairs to stand amongst some ruins. We did it. We are outside the ruins of DC. We explored the whole thing without fast traveling, without completing any quests, and starting from level 1. But we didn't finish the railway rifle. Man, I was really hoping to get that done. But we can't talk about that right now, for in the ruins off to the southwest, we see movement. It's super mutants, and we come under fire. Oh! Oh! We gotta get closer if we're gonna finish these guys off. Heading down into the ruins. With that, the mutants are dead. We've explored these ruins in a previous episode, so I won't bother with them here. Down on the ground, we arrive at the Potomac. Looking across the water, we see the Citadel, the Pentagon, on the other side of the bridge crossing the Potomac. This is the path Liberty Prime will follow one day. We can stop for a moment, take in the sights, feel the breeze on our face, breathe in that irradiated, putrid stank. It's good to be out of the ruins. Walking north, we find a merchant hiding under this bridge, not much on his inventory. And continuing north, we find a little raider encampment right next to Dukov's place, an encampment we've cleared in actually many previous episodes. It was while looting this encampment that I found the next piece of the puzzle. Lying on this counter was a pressure cooker. All right, now all I need is a steam gauge assembly. Then I can make my railway rifle. I looked in all of these containers and scoured all of the shelves, but I didn't find one here. And we traveled throughout the entire mall and all the way through the Irradiated Metro without finding one either. Where will we find a steam gauge assembly? But then I recalled an episode I made way back towards the beginning of this series about the Franklin Metro. In that episode, we found a hidden cache that had nearly everything we needed to craft almost anything we wanted. And so now that I've pretty much explored all of the DC ruins, I allowed myself the luxury of fast traveling. The problem with the Franklin Metro is that it's not actually named on the Pip-Boy map. Franklin Metro Station is its name in the game, but to get there, we actually have to fast travel to Falls Church. From Falls Church, we have to travel to the exterior metro station that we discovered there, and then follow the signs to Franklin. Through the door and down the tunnels, we arrive at the Franklin Station, and we shouldn't have to worry about enemies because we cleared this place. Wait a minute, what? How is this fair? And there's a stinking raider firing at me too. Ugh. Well, heading up to the waiting platform, we can go around to get her on the other side of the escalator. Well, I guess they've respawned. I mean, it didn't feel like it's been that long since I've been here, but I guess it was enough time for them to respawn. Back to our hunt, we know that if we go east down the tracks, we'll eventually find the door to Franklin Utility. Oh, wait, what? Here's one right here. A steam gauge assembly. Oh, it's just lying here by a bunch of conductors and a toolbox in the middle of the tracks. Figures they don't have any lying around the mall, but they have some here at Franklin Metro. Well, we now have everything we need to make the railway rifle. We just need a workbench. So we still got to get to the Franklin Metro utility. Heading that way, we can open the door. And sure enough, inside we find the treasure trove. Look at all these crutches and conductors and fission batteries. God, we could make a lot of railway rifles here. Oh, but wait a minute. As we inspect all of these nooks, we realize that we're not finding any pressure cookers. Huh. Well, I didn't want to explore the entire place. I just wanted to make my rifle. So moving south, we find the workbench and we can craft a railway rifle. All right. Taking a look at it in our inventory. What? It's at half condition. We just made this sucker and it's only at half condition. But wait, that's okay. We're at the Franklin Metro utility. We can just make more. First, let's test it out. Choo-choo, mofo. I love this thing. All right, let's go get what we need to make some more. Steam gauge assemblies over here, 3 of them. Nice. Fission batteries here. All right, we'll grab 3 of those. And then crutches. Oh, only 2 of those. All right, looks like we're only able to make 2 of them. But moving around, we find another steam gauge assembly, but still no more crutches and no pressure cookers at all. But come on, they can't do this to me. Surely they're not going to make a utility room that has all the ingredients we need to make the railway rifle, except for one. So I went around and explored the whole place again, looked at every single shelf, opened every single box. We find leaf blowers, vacuum cleaners, lots of stuff we don't need, but no other pressure cookers. What? But then we remember that there was that top room, you know, the one that we fell down to get into this garbage can. There was a workbench there and more shelves. So winding our way through the facility, we passed by the corpses of all the ghouls we killed the last time we were here. Thankfully, this place hasn't respawned. We find lots of shelves with telephones and chairs, ammo canisters, milk bottles, tin cans, rubbish. To the sewer tunnel, we find a motorcycle gas tank with another steam gauge assembly just lying on this pile of rubble, but no pressure cooker. Moving along, we find toolboxes and ammo canisters, a trail of tin cans, a leaf blower just lying out here. We get to the water. We turn left into the hole. We climb out of the hole. We navigate through all of the toxic radioactive material to find more shelves with a Braxo cleaner, cherry bombs, more fission batteries, more steam gauge assemblies, turpentine, wonder glue, no pressure cooker. We find the bed that we rested at with a couple of vacuum cleaners. There's this tiny nook with a camera, fission batteries, a motorcycle gas tank, a paint gun, no pressure cooker. And at last we arrive at the final sealed off room. Remember, this was flanked by the garden gnome and a bunch of other cool scrap, leaf blowers, paint guns, and at the far end, we find shelves covered in steam gauge assemblies, fission batteries, wonder glue, but no more pressure cookers. Ugh, how devious. You know they did that on purpose. They're not going to put everything you need to craft your item in one spot. No, they want to make us work for it. Well, looks like if we didn't raid that raider camp and find the pressure cooker there, we wouldn't have been able to make the one we've got. So I suppose we can count ourselves lucky. And how can I end this video without taking it for a spin? Back outside DeFalls Church, we can release some pent-up frustration on these super mutants. You know, killing super mutants with a choo-choo rifle is a lot of fun, but nothing beats dismembering limbs, so we can find a raider encampment and try it out on some humans. And with that, at last, we've got our railway rifle. We finish exploring the DC ruins, cataloging every item in every zone, exploring every tunnel and every train station. We are essentially done, but we're not really done. There are still a few more things to uncover. They may not be metro stations, strictly speaking, but there are things I haven't explored yet, and I want to take you with me. If you don't want to miss my next episode, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. If you have already, but you still feel like you're missing out on YouTube notifications, consider following me on Twitter at Oxhorn. I update Twitter manually with every new piece of content that I publish. I've got a shirt shop with completely unique designs that you can't find anywhere else. My designs come on shirts in a variety of men's, women's, and children's sizes, and in a wide array of colors. You can find them on smartphone cases, pillows, posters, mugs, stickers, prints, etc. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming a patron on Patreon or a member here on YouTube. YouTube members and patrons on Patreon gain access to a private channel on my Discord server, and YouTube members get little badges that appear next to their names in the comment sections of my videos, and access to ox emojis that they can use in my comments and in the live chats of my live streams. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today, and thank you for sticking with me as we explored the metro system of Fallout 3. This isn't the end. I'll be back very soon with more lore videos and more live streams.